Hi guys, welcome to Bib's Life and the US.
They had him there for one reason. They didn't want to hear about the growth in Georgia because Atlanta's an international city. We got to get international business, and Hartsfield Airport is going to be. They invited him. He didn't read the memo. They invited him to that exact moment. The guy speaking is the guy that may take over. He's, I think, the president of World Economic Forum. He's the guy touted to be when Klaus Schwab goes to his just reward. This is the guy teed up. So that is a big panel. They had big American politicians. Frankie, as you went through and analyzed this, he was there to say the election deniers lost. The election deniers are extremists. They're bad people, correct?
Oh, absolutely, Steve. Governor Brian Kemp was brought there for one reason, and it was to give him a pat on the head for his total failure to secure Georgia's elections. And, that's exactly what the World Economic Forum did. He sat on a panel full of left-wing Democrats and full of phony centrists as well. So this panel was very telling of the World Economic Forum's influence on the United States government. They talk about other things there. They talked about our free press and how it's a problem because the American people know too much. It's disrupted the system.
No, this is the panel. We cut a piece out last night, Mickey Sherrill, and I put up on Getter. As a Naval Academy graduate, she should know better. And these service academies, and Mo went to West Point, and I revere West Point. I revere the Naval Academy. I didn't go there. I was at Newport, Rhode Island, but I served with many people in the Naval Academy, have tremendous high regard. But if you look at the trash talk that goes on by West Point and Naval Academy graduates, and if you look at the academies have to understand something. We're winning here, and we're going to win. And we're not going to allow these service academies to generate these globalists that think they can trash talk the American people. Mickey Sherrill, in this very panel, you're absolutely correct. She's a helicopter pilot, I think, naval officer, academy grad. These are veterans and people in the service today.
As we speak, dozens of national pro-life. We've got all kinds of pro-life materials there, and people are filing through that exhibit hall. Later this afternoon, we have an educational seminar called the Law of Life Summit, and people will be examining the legal aspects of the pro-life movement and new opportunities ahead. Tomorrow morning, we have the big prayer service that I'll be privileged to lead in Constitution Hall, starting at 8:30. And then at the end of the march, somewhere around 2 o'clock, 2:30, in front of the Supreme Court, men and women who have lost children to abortion will be sharing their stories publicly. This is the Silent No More campaign. So, Steve, I don't have any fear whatsoever that this march won't continue. This movement is a national movement. Of course, we have state-by-state battles now that have opened up more than ever. But we also have a national battle. We've got to get Congress to do the right thing. The other side, with their abortion extremism of the Democrats, they're always trying to get their measures passed in Congress. We've got to be there pushing in the opposite direction. And the movement always needs a rallying point. We need to show America that we're not going away. So this march will continue.
Father, what is the temper of people? They came off this big victory, but then people are saying, "Oh, part of some of the losses in the House were because I know this is a predominantly younger crowd." Where are people's heads at right now in the movement?
Well, I see two things, judging from yesterday and today so far. There really is a celebratory tone that Roe is out of the way. So many of these same people have been marching here. Of course, there's a lot of younger people, but there are also veterans here of the movement that have been marching for decades, and they are here to celebrate. But we've also got a keen awareness, and this came through in the speeches yesterday and today, and it's coming through in the exhibits, that we've got a lot of work to do, and we've got a lot of opportunities to meet, and we've got a lot of challenges to overcome. A lot of these states are going to be passing these ballot initiatives to try to put abortion in their state constitutions and whatnot. We've got to learn how to fight these, because these are very difficult to fight against, but not impossible to defeat. And the people here are determined to take up that task.
Father, how do people follow you on social media?
FR Frank Pavone on all the platforms. FR Frank Pavone.
Father Frank, thank you. We'll have more this afternoon. Jason Jones will be coming. Frank back. Mo Bannon's going to be around. We're going to cover it wall to wall with Real America's Voice. Father Frank, for gentlemen, thank you very much. Please go ahead. AI.
When it comes to safety, who has more highlighting desktop safety across the words?
Attention all Medicare recipients. This is a new announcement about Medicare benefits. There are now plans of...
Breaking news, Alec Baldwin accused of pulling the trigger when the movie set employee died. Now, more than a year later, the Wall Street Journal has just exclusively reported Alec Baldwin will face criminal charges. We are set to hear at any moment directly from the New Mexico District Attorney. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Hollywood star Alec Baldwin at the center of that death on set of the film Rust. A quick recap of the incident. Accidental gunfire during a rehearsal is what it has been called. He's already been sued civilly. Now, the criminal case against him. A single bullet killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounded the film's director Joel Sousa. Alec Baldwin, both an actor and producer on that movie, was holding the gun when it fired.
It wasn't in the script for the trigger to be pulled.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger at them. Never.
An FBI forensic report tells a very different story. It says the weapon couldn't. A lot of questions and all the aftermath. You'll remember we covered.
Divided. They want to impeach talking. I invested in Let's Go QQQ, a fund that gives me access to NASDAQ 100 Innovations by CGI. Oh, don't worry.
I'm an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Investment company with the investment executive starting the business more. Expects at Invesco.com.
Moderates balking, asking what are the high crimes and misdemeanors that they can really nail him down on. This would be the first impeachment of a cabinet member since 1876. Mayorkas isn't stepping aside. What do you make of the story?
Well, he's obviously failing, and the Republicans now taking charge have the ability to use this political tool. And so you've got to have enough House members that will vote for it. But then it's going to go over to the Senate, and it's quite likely that it will die in the Senate. So I would rather they spend their time taking him to task for the failures. Remember what happened since he's been there. He refused to call it a giant crisis on the southern border. He refused to call it such. When he does make public statements about the border, it's like nothing to see here. Don't believe your own eyes. We're doing everything we can. But they're not. They inherited policies that brought 40-year lows in illegal immigration across the southwest border when they took over. They took all that down. They didn't just tear it all down, but everybody that was enrolled in the Remain in Mexico program, they let them all come into the United States. So beginning of that decision-making, he's made a policy that is encouraging people to come to that border.
And right, Republicans like Nancy Mace say this. Here's a high crime misdemeanor. You open the borders. When you raise your hand and take an oath to protect the nation's border, you intentionally and willfully neglect to do that job, you should lose it. She's talking about the influx also of drugs and crimes across the border. So it's making up on your own, ad hoc and on the fly, what the Congress should be doing with legislation about the border. So do you think they cannot pin down a high crime misdemeanor on this?
Well, I haven't seen that, right? He has failed in his duty to protect us all. He's caused that border to be more threatening than it ever has been in the history of that border. Your previous story about the cartels, they have enormous influence about what happens at the border, but also now in Mexico and some of these sending countries, they're destabilizing where these people are fleeing from, right? They're making money hand over fist. And then tens and tens of thousands of people are coming to the border and being released, or not even being encountered by the Border Patrol. So he's created this crisis, refused to call it a crisis, and has not asked for the tools, has not asked Congress for any help in securing the border. All he's done is blame the previous administration, refuse to call it a crisis, and say everything's fine, and it's not. We're seeing
There's no bank, no lender, no one knows veterans like New Day USA. Call 1-844-414-1559.
With Verizon, you can now get a private 5G network, so you can do more than connect your business. You can make it even smarter. Now ports can know where every piece of cargo is and where it's going. Robots can predict breakdowns and order their own replacement parts. And retailers can get ahead of the fashion trend of the day with a new line tomorrow. With a Verizon private 5G network, you can get more agility and security.
I'm Charlie Kirk. I started Turning Point USA to do the work to help save America. We are America.
Okay, bye everyone, and don't forget to subscribe below and thumbs up to our channel and check out our Beybs Closet in HCEB and Macari, and also check out our video decor in HNEB. Bye bye guys, see you to the next video. God bless you all. Bye.